I stumbled across this VTuber agency the other day. This is BondLive EN. They have a Japanese organization, and they are sort of partnered with a live streaming service called IRIM or ERIM. I'm not sure which. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But this came to my attention because I saw this, which was all of a sudden on the same day, a whole bunch of VTubers started graduating from this organization. I have 4 here. I have another one here. And then we have these 2 who didn't graduate, but still felt the need to put up a message saying that they had issues with the organization. These are not the only people to graduate. These are just, Twitter only allows you to have 4 in a picture. So these are just the only ones I saved. There was unironically like 12 or so people that graduated, and there are even more that graduated today. Like, it was a huge exodus, and all of the graduation announcements that gave a reason had a similar theme, where they talked about how the culture at the company took a extremely negative turn all at once, and nobody wanted to be a part of it anymore. Like, really, really extreme. So I was... Oh, real quick, I'll show you some of them real quick. So this was one of the ones that is not leaving, Hayami, but they still kind of had a they had like some weird statements, right? So they say, my experience with Bond is 1. Like, they can't really say something positive about it. They're just like, yeah, I had like an experience with them. It's whatever. We have this one, Prinny Plop, who is totally graduated. And you can see this is kind of what I'm talking about. Due to current awful developments, graduating from BondLive effective immediately. I'm angry, I'm disappointed, and I'm quite frankly disgusted. I do not own my IP, but you'll find me soon if you're observant enough. I'm so sorry. So I can say this because I have talked to people. I won't say what people, but the deal that they had with Bond was, and there could be more to it, but this is all I have access to right now, is you had to stream with the company for 300 hours before you got your IP. So anybody who is quitting and graduating before their 300-hour mark has to give up their character. They are losing their IP completely. So some of the people that have remained within BondLive are staying specifically so they can get their IP. They're just playing out the rest of their contract so they can get their stuff. Some of them, even though they're still in the company, have publicly admitted that is what they're doing, which is wild to me. I would tell you girlies, I would probably recommend not doing that, because they could make the rest of your life there very uncomfortable. I hope they don't, but just be careful, okay? But I was digging, right, chat? Because this doesn't happen in a vacuum. Something had to happen. So I was clicking their profiles. I was going down through like all their tweets for like days, weeks, trying to figure out if there's like some like little comment, right? Some little thing somebody said that kind of tipped me off to what the issue was. And I forget which one of them I clicked on, but one of them actually had a tweet that had happened only, I think, 5 hours before the mass graduation. And it was weird, because it was a retweet of a Japanese VTuber who, his entire post was entirely in Japanese, his entire account was completely in Japanese, and he was an independent. He wasn't a part of any group. As far as I could tell, like, on the face of it, he had no relation to BondLive at all. Until I clicked on the message that they retweeted. And I saw that the people that quote tweeted this guy's message were almost all people from BondLive or IRIM. And this is the guy, Peter Boxy. And you can see, because I followed some of the BondLive people, which admittedly made figuring this out easier, several of the BondLive people follow him, which that by itself isn't enough, right? He's got 2.9 or 29k followers. That's a lot. And it's bound to have a lot of VTubers following him because he is a VTuber. But just to double check, I went to the people that BondLive were following. And you can see BondLive doesn't follow many people. They only follow 60. Very, very small number. You can assume that all of those 60 are somehow related to the organization in one way or another, or they're friends of the organization. And one of those people happens to be Peter Boxy. And you can see, like, surrounding all of this, he's one of the few people that is just totally Japanese. Which, again, makes it like, okay, it's weird, there's this connection here. So, I obviously don't speak Japanese. But Google has, like, a little translator built in, and it's not the best, but it works. So this is the message everyone from BondLive was retweeting. This huge, huge message from this guy, right? So then I was like, I think this could be related. So then I translate it, and we're going to read through it, and I will warn you guys, it can be a little rough. So Peter says, Will, I will write a will. This will be Pastor Peter's last post, and since he has passed away, I will write everything without holding anything back. This is due to repeated threats from livers. I have been working in the overseas department for the past 2 years. There have been many times whenever a live streamer becomes dissatisfied and quits, the exposing streamers take whatever dissatisfaction they have, no matter how small, and document the matter, almost exposing them. They have also had their personal information, such as their real name and relationship status, exposed on message boards. However, I was afraid they would point out my incompetence and fire me. I couldn't talk to my coworkers about it. I am mentally exhausted. I was planning to quit my job last month because I was no longer having time to continue my activities as a streamer. But considering that it is difficult to find someone who can take my position, and that I felt a strong sense of responsibility for having hired a live streamer, I decided to stay on until I could find someone to replace me and behave in a way that would not cause me mental distress as much as possible so that I could return to my live stream activities. In this case, it was discovered that an underage person had falsified their age to join the company. After questioning, they had to fire the person, even though they knew it would cause dispute, and it was something they didn't want to do. Clear evidence was presented, and they had no choice but to do it. As a result, it has been revealed the live streamer in question has been spreading biased and false information to other live streamers, and there are more clear moves to escalate the matter and expose them. I also do it on my days off. I worked hard both at work and after work to ensure the live streamers were satisfied. Even though I don't have time to do anything myself, I'm still taking care of them, and I feel a little frustrated. I can no longer bear the injustice and the fear of being exposed as the bad guy in this way, even though it was the live streamer who was in the wrong for making false declarations. I have already exceeded my limits. I no longer have the will to live. So, I'll probably read through the rest of this on Thursday. It's a really long post. It's still got plenty more to it. But this was a suicide note. That's what it was intended to be. This was not a graduation notice. People were seriously worried that Peter had ended it all. Nobody could get in contact with him. I have pictures where the, what do you call it? The CEO of BondLive is saying that they can't get in contact with Peter. I think I have it posted here in my next one. So the BondLive CEOs, I do have confirmation the Peter thing was 100% he worked with BondLive, and he was a manager to multiple of the girls. And this is the actual CEO of BondLive. And this was all he said to the talents when this post started getting like circulated between them all, and they realized their manager might actually be dead. He just says, "We still have no contact. Also, I will close all free chat for a while because it's not good for your mental. If you can contact him, please let me know. Thank you." This is all he had to say about this. And when he says close all free chat, I have it on good authority from some people in the know that he locked down a lot of the Discord chats, and the only thing that is unclear is if he deleted some of the Discord chats outright, or if he just had them hidden from the talents so the talents couldn't see them. The talents I talked to seem to believe that he was deleting some of the chats to cover up some of the back and forth that was going on in them, some of the negativity that was happening. Likely because he didn't want the Peter thing to come back to him. For those who are worried about Peter, we do have confirmation from one of his friends that the same day he posted that message, they went to his house and they convinced him to come out and leave with them so they could watch after him. And Peter has reposted this person's message, so I'm very confident in that he is okay now. But he wasn't. He was in a really rough spot. But if you are worried about him, he is safe and alive with some of his in real life friends. So that is a positive. I was sent this shortly after. I have this big long message, which basically kind of breaks down everything I've been told, right? So I've talked to multiple talents. I've checked this line of events with multiple talents, and all of them have confirmed it. So kind of roughly in order, a minor faked their ID in order to join BondLive. Specifically, they stole the ID of a family member and used that in order to join the company. Peter, the staffer we were just talking about, found out this information somehow, and he ended up exposing them internally. He didn't publicly blast them. He exposed them internally to the company that they'd lied about it. The minor in question, in some sort of retaliation, exposed Peter's private IRL information and started some sort of harassment campaign against him. This is the only part I have been unable to get very clear and specific confirmation on. I don't know if the minor specifically pushed for him to be harassed, or if the harassment came naturally from people who were friends with the minor. This is the only part I don't have 100% confirmation of, and I've tried to get it, but everyone is still a little iffy to talk about it. The harassment continued for months. I know a rough timeline that this started in May or July. So that's how long this has been going on, since May or July-ish. This, combined with like other stressful aspects that were in the BondLive work culture, along with the CEO not dealing with this, kind of led to the note by Peter that he was gonna end it all. The extreme turn of events led to a major internal blow-up, causing many talents to leave or consider leave. Bond maintains control over their identities, so many of them will have to start from scratch if they go. So I have extra information on this part. I already told you guys that one of the reasons a lot of them don't want to leave is because they need to finish their 300-hour trial period in order to get to keep their IPs. But the other part is the internal blow-up. So I found out it's not just that Peter, like, they were worried for Peter and they were upset that the company didn't do anything about it. I have not been given specifics, but I am told that the way some of the talents reacted to Peter's possible death was very insensitive, and that pushed a lot of the talents to want to leave, because it was very clear that some of the talents did not respect him and did not care that he might be dead. We do not know which talents, although based on some of the stuff I've been told, I kind of have an idea. The BondLive management goes into damage control mode, locks out the talents from their internal Discord, citing it's bad for their mental health to communicate with them. Supposedly, they're also deleting posts and messages during the lockout. So, management did come back, and they have other messages, but I'll get into that next. That is in the update on Peter, right? So we have the message I just showed you guys that confirms Peter is okay. But then we have two messages from the CEO. One before Peter was found okay, and one after Peter is found okay. So before Peter is found okay, I'm sorry you guys can't see this very well, but he did not have a good statement, chat. His statement was really bad. Can I just new tab it? That might make it better. Yeah, that makes it a little better. Everyone, I'm very sorry for this situation. It's very unfortunate that some people are leaving. I went to Peter's house today, but he wasn't there. I'm also contacting the police. For now, I think the priority is to wait for contact with Peter. I will let you know when I'm able to get in contact with him ASAP. Thank you for understanding. Sorry for my bad English. So my big issue with this is the second line here. Keep in mind, he is talking about the fact they went to an employee's house that just left a suicide note, and his first response when he can't get in contact with that employee is, kind of sucks some of you guys are leaving because of this. Like, read the room, dude. What the fuck? See, why would you say that? I can maybe give him a little leeway for having bad English, but like, I don't know, man. That's just, why would you do that? And then the second part is him linking to this tweet and saying he's okay now. And he's going to take a break. Not the CEO's taking a break, but Peter's going to take a break. Really not that interesting overall. So, I'll cover more on Thursday, right? And I'm still getting information from some of the livers, which, thank you to everyone who has messaged me. I really appreciate you helping me clear this up. I will tell chat that I don't know how much I'm going to say, because I'm still in debate about it. But I will tell you guys, I know who the bullies were, and I know who the minor was. I know vaguely where the divides are between the people who were on Peter's side and the people who were on management's side. I have kind of a little chart going. I probably won't be mentioning a lot of names. It's my understanding that the minor is still a minor at current, and I feel very uncomfortable naming and shaming minors. I have to debate with myself whether or not I'm going to say who it was. And I will probably talk with some of the livers, but I am also aware that they might have their own document coming out about the minor. And by the time they expose them, it won't be in my hands anymore. And the last thing I will say is there is one member who stayed with management who just rubs me the wrong way, but I haven't had time to ask the other livers I've communicated with it about them. And it is this one, Erebus Garay. So this is in reply to my big thread where I laid everything out, right? And I I think it's important to clarify that in my big thread, I had numerous livers come to my DMs of their own volition and tell me that I basically got everything right. Like there might be little things here or there, but basically I got everything 100% right. I got the timeline right. I got the events right. There's just more context I could add if I had it. So Erebus Grey shows up to something multiple of the livers have praised me for, or at least agreed with me on, and says, do not spread information unless you're given the right by either management or talents. I only ask this because we are extremely emotional time for all of us, and we do not have any privacy, as we are corporate idols. As of right now, it is determined that our beloved manager Peter is safe. BondLive did try to do damage control, but with most talents who either graduated or are saying or doing is trying to ask for a break. Yesterday, we watched everything go up in flames. This has been an ongoing issue. This has not gotten resolved. This is not the wake-up call any of us wanted, nor any of us needed. Our first priority is seeing our managers safe. Once that happens, most of us will resume. Until it does, we will not be sharing any information. All I ask is that as of right now, we respect Peter's privacy, support his mental health, and I beg everyone, please stop digging. It will come out, and if it doesn't, we will make it. Please, unless the information is 100% factual, backed by either proof from talents, genmates, or management, please do not spread it. We are all suffering. And this just rubbed me the wrong way, because I have talked to talents, and they should know I've talked to talents because I've posted pictures from their private internal Discord from their CEO. So it should be obvious that I'm in contact with at least one talent, even if I'm not in contact with multiple. But I am in contact with multiple, so that's a side point. And I really don't like that they're trying to speak on behalf of all the talents. They're like, oh, we all agreed on this. No, you didn't all agree on that. In fact, multiple talents are super pissed at management. There's multiple talents that want nothing to do with management. I have no idea what you're on about with, oh, talents agree with management. Yeah, they want to make sure Peter's okay, and Peter was their manager, but they consider Peter separate from management, and they don't want anything to do with your management. They're mad at your management. They're mad at some of the talents. And the only thing I know about Erebus, because again, a lot of the talents are still a bit iffy on talking about this, is that Erebus is kind of considered the golden girl, golden boy, I don't know which, of BondLive. And that the CEO and the upper management kind of has like a special soft spot for Erebus. At least that's what I've been told by other livers. So could be the reason that that they're trying to like suck management off. I don't think this is working for them. I think they should have kept their mouth shut. Again, I've had multiple people from BondLive come and reach out to me. I talked to probably 6 or 7 livers at this point, all getting like little pieces of the story from all of them. And I even replied to Erebus, like, yeah, I've talked to multiple talents, and they're going to stay anonymous, and you're free to add your perspective, but I'm going to keep talking about it. Because I think this is like a serious issue, right? I don't think it's okay, whatever happened in this organization. And I kind of take it back that I said Niji Sanji was going to be the ultimate black org this year. I think BondLive is the ultimate black org. This is rough.